My humble pronounce the divine lotus feet of her dear mother Sai. My humble pronounce to my parents for giving me this beautiful education and bringing me in the spiritual awareness since I was a child. I'm really thankful for them. Thank you, Brother Greg, for giving me this wonderful opportunity and so kind of you to introduce me. And thank you for your kind words. And also, I wanted to thank all of you for inviting me and to be part of this beautiful satsang. And my humble pranams to the Antaryami Sai present in all of you. Thank you so much. So with this gratitude, I wanted to start this program. So myself and Brother Greg were brainstorming what would be the beautiful topic as the whole entire world is going through this pandemic. And Swami showed us, he actually led into this topic. How do we connect from the form to the formless? So that's going to be the beautiful satsang we are all going to go through. And let us tune into our Antaryami Sai, presented all of us to hear from him, and let's learn together. And I feel that this is going to be the beautiful topic for all of us and for us to connect with the cosmic, infinite form of our dear Mother Sai that brings the peace, what Brother Greg was talking about during the introduction.
Yes, well, it is really quite an important question. How do we best connect with the formless aspect of God and make that connection, build a relationship, and particularly in challenging and trying times? So when we think about the formless or cosmic form of God, what are your thoughts and how would you explain it based on your experiences?
Thank you, Brother Greg. Thank you for asking that question. That really puts me into perspective that who really Swami is. Is he the form, the name that Satya Sai, or is he just at 5 feet 3 inches or whatever the height Swami is, or is it the form that comes in the orange robe? Is it the only form? So I usually contemplate, but even when Swami was in his physical form, Swami has granted me the I should say there is a divine grace that I'm always connected to that infinite form. Wherever I am, I experience that infinite form. Even Swami was confined physically in Puttaparthi. So as Swami says, I don't belong to any place. I do not attach to any name. Call me with any name, I will respond. All names and all forms are mine. This is by Swami. So this is so true. And I just wanted to narrate one of my dreams I had even when Swami was physically there. And I was living in Iowa in Fort Dodge. I had a beautiful revelation from Swami that Swami said, the eyes of mine, the both eyes, there are the sun and the moon. And my face is the earth and my every hair is the Milky Way in the galaxy. I did not understand the concept at the time. Oh my God, that's a beautiful dream. And then there was a personal interaction. Swami gave some messages, which was very personal at that moment. So I was just contemplating, but I couldn't really fathom on the cosmic form because Swami was still physically available. Even Swami had mentioned in some of the discourses or some interviews, sometimes the physical, you have to go beyond this physical form. The physical form itself could be a hindrance to experience the cosmic form. So I was thinking, so when I was spending some time in Puttaparthi, I did not have too much interaction with the physical form. I had very few. I had interview with Swami, and I worked in Puttaparthi General Hospital during Swami's 85th birthday. The 2 weeks I spent there was heavenly. So those were the experiences. But when I think about that and connect the infinite form, I feel that infinite form brings me so much of connection within myself. Even so, I don't separate Swami that he's living there in Puttaparthi. I feel that when I connect with the cosmic form, I have quick access to Swami. I can ask anything and the answer comes within. So that's the beauty of this cosmic form. That is one of my experience. And also, Swami had given so much of anecdotes like, what is the cosmic form? So before we connect to the cosmic form, we need to understand what that cosmic form is. So that is seeing all are one. Everything, every atom of this universe is pervaded with that divine form, that cosmic form. And we have that same cosmic form as well. And I wanted to quote from one of the philosopher, Rumi, is a French philosopher, I think. We are the ocean in the drop, not just a drop in the ocean. It's just a simple thing, but when I realized that we think we are just this, I'm just this Ramadevi, or this is just Brother Greg. So that is confining me within my physical form. But more and more, when I connect to the cosmic form, I am the divinity that is present within the small body. And Swami always addresses us Divyatma Sarupalara. So if we believe that every word that comes out of Swami's mouth is Veda, even before going to all the discourses, listening and contemplating, let us just take a moment and contemplate on the truth, what Swami calls us, every one of us, whether he does not discriminate whether you're a good or bad, because everyone is same, because everyone has that divinity, the Atma within all of us. Swami, he declares 10,000 people, he says, Divyatma Sarupalara, Prema Sarupalara. He believes in our divinity and he believes in the love. We are the form of love. So that's a beautiful thing. So the anecdote is the ocean, the water vapor that has water, the clouds as the water particles, the waves have the water, the foam in the ocean, the waves in the ocean, everything has a component of water. The salt that also has water component in it. So if you think about this, the stone that also has the cosmic consciousness. But Swami says the human form is the ultimate form because he has given us the intellect to realize that divine form, even though the animate, inanimate, every atom has that same consciousness. We have that privilege. Swami has graced us as the human being to understand, and that is the whole purpose of life, is to understand that the cosmic form, the Atma, the Atmic principle that is present within ourselves and within everybody we come across in life. And Swami has given so many other anecdotes as well, like the form of milk. The milk comes in buttermilk, the curd, the ghee, the butter, but everything, the base is the milk. So Swami has given so many things to explain about this cosmic form. So how do I apply this cosmic form in my daily life, wherever I work or when I go for service? So I felt that from my personal experience, I feel when we go to service, it's not, okay, this is an opportunity, I'm going to go and help people. As I started doing that, I felt that if I'm not connecting to the Atma within myself, and if I'm not connecting to the Atma whom I'm serving, I felt that that is not a pure service at all. So everything, Swami had talked a lot about the Paradharma and Atma Dharma. So the service done with the attitude of that, based on that love, that Atma, that fulfills the requirement for service itself. So that brings to the form of like, how do we connect this with the cosmic form? My first, the dream about Swami that really brought me, that changed my entire life is the Vishwarupa Darshan in my dream. Swami came as a Vishwarupa Darshan, and he showed that my favorite deity Raghavendra Swami in his heart. That was the dream that really changed my life. I'm really thankful to Swami for that wonderful experience, the dream. So I started thinking that if the Virat Swarupa, the Vishwarupa of Swami is not just that all the devatas within Swami, it is the every form. So I made that as a practice to see that wherever I go for any camps. And I just wanted to mention that the Sairam town in Kazakhstan, I went for the medical service. This town was named 3,000 years ago as Sairam town. So Swami has existed. There is no end or no beginning for Swami's name or form because he's beyond that cosmic form. So that mountain, that river of Sairam that existed even 3,000 years ago, and it was named as Sai Ram. The Virat Swarupa, when I go for service, I am not the one who's sitting to serve or help that person. It's the Swami within me and the beautiful Swami that is coming and sitting in front of me. That has revealed so much of miracles. Swami has manifested, and then, hey, I'm here. I am omnipresent. I am the one who's receiving your service. So we'll talk a little bit further, more about this in the future conversations.
And I think it's also important to point out that you've had the incredible opportunity to be in very close proximity to Sai Baba when he was in his physical form. I'd love to know what that was like and how you felt and what your experiences in that. At the same time, you also then had to transition your spiritual practice to the formless aspect of God. Would like to then sort of get a little bit of both aspects of what that was like for you, and if you could just share that with us.
So that's a very tough question, brother. Yeah, as we are attached to this body, we are definitely attached to the physical form of Swami. We are so much attached to the form and the name as well. Still we are. But so let me just recollect some of the experiences I had when I was in close proximity. I didn't have much close physical proximity, but I had a couple of experiences. The first time when I saw Swami was in 2001. I just saw him. He just walked right in front of me, but I didn't do much sadhana to even feel that divinity of the divine presence of Swami. I felt there is something divinity in him, but I did not see that him as a god or anything. But in 2009, that was a life-changing thing. We all went for a pilgrimage, and we had a beautiful interview for an hour with Swami. Um, in that physical presence of Swami, all our thoughts, everything, the peace, what you were talking about. So that's what I experienced in the physical form. Whatever I think, Swami just responds. So Swami says it's a reflection, a resound. I would sit in the darshan and I would ask something, even though 10,000 people are surrounding there, he responds the way I expected him to respond. So during the interview, Swami says, I am within you, you are within me. Why, thank you. So those are all the things, beautiful, simple words, but how much profound the words of Swami had. And then I started contemplating on that, the word I directly heard from Swami's mouth, that really helped me to transition from the form to the formless form of our Divine Mother, the cosmic form, I should say. And one more experience is during my work period, during the 85th birthday. That is really a heaven, because I forgot what day this is. Is it day or night? Because the celebrations are so grandeur, and the beauty of Swami to witness, and doing service at the moment and connecting with Swami. That was a beautiful experience. Since I worked in the general hospital, we were seated in the front. So I was able to have the darshan of the physical form to my heart's content. One experience I really wanted to share is I had shared this experience in the past. I did Aarti for Swami on his birthday when Swami crossed through the general hospital. The other profound message I wanted to convey, directly learned from the physical form, is one day my parents were, because it was so crowded, I asked my parents to come on the 24th, the next day after Swami's birthday. So they are reaching around 7 o'clock, and I had to go and pick them up and get the registration for their accommodation too. I was sitting in Swami's darshan in the Kulwant Hall. So that day is supposed to be Swami's star birthday. I was asking Swami, you're giving me a beautiful seat. I'm just sitting in the front line. I was so obsessed with the Swami's Padam. Always, I'm still is obsessed with Swami's Padam. It brings so much of solace and bliss to my heart. So I said, Swami, I wanted to really have a darshan of your feet before I wanted to go and get my parents. So those days during the programs are going on until 8:30. So I was Swami, I'm just asking you something unrealistic. And that day, there was supposed to be one of the countries supposed to perform a music program. So they were all getting ready in the Sai Kulwant Hall. But this thought was, I'm pretty sure, as I contemplate more on that, Swami also gives you the thought. If he wanted to us to experience that divine form, or the how Swami connects heart to heart, he also puts the thought, and he made us ask the question too. Now I realize that I did not ask the question. He made me ask the question. Swami, I wanted to see the your padam before I leave the Kulwant Hall. So why don't you take Arati and early and leave the Kulwant Hall by 6:45? So I can leave the Kulwant Hall and receive my parents at 7 o'clock. This is the thought. I'm sitting in the darshan line. And guess what? I don't know, I feel so bad for the program, the participants who wanted to perform in front of Swami, but all of a sudden Swami canceled that music program. I heard there were so many other reasons, which I don't want to mention here, but the program was canceled. And guess what? Swami took Arati. He left the Kulwanthal exactly at 6:45. I was so thrilled. This is the one simple devotee sitting there, and because I wanted to go and receive my parents. So when your prayers and your when your request is so genuine and you just earn and crave for Swami's darshan, Swami gives it right away. So that was a beautiful experience. So I was also thinking, why is that particular time, whenever we commit to not just Swami's work, but any work, when we make sure that we are on time, when we do something and we promise that I will be there at the time, it's my husband really helps me to keep up the time. So we both were always like trying to strive that whenever we give word, okay, I'll be there at this time, Swami makes that happen. So, so Swami is reassuring that if you practice some value, I will help you. And so in turn, I will also do the same. So that was a beautiful lesson I learned from Swami on that particular day. So it was just a personal, just for me. But I don't know how, but I'm pretty sure I feel bad for the people who wanted to perform in front of Swami. But this was my experience in his physical presence in Puttaparthi in Sai Kulwant Hall. So how did I transition from that physical form to the cosmic form? It was not easy at all. It still brings me tears, even though I wanted to connect to the cosmic form. When Swami left his physical form, I was really going through a very, very, very tough time. And even in my hospital, everybody knows how much I love Swami. Uh, so I went to Puttaparthi May 2nd week. I wanted to work in General Hospital. I felt that that is the gratitude I can pay for Swami when he left his form. Uh, every day was a divine communication in Puttaparthi. I closed my eyes and sit in Kulwantala. I cry and cry and cry. Beautiful darshan of Swami I could see. And one day I was just going to the General Hospital in the morning. So the people were carrying a lot of flowers from Swami's Samadhi. It was under construction. So I saw the basket of flower. They had a lot of flowers, and I just looked at the yellow flower. Swami, I wish I could have one of the flowers from your Samadhi. So I feel like that touched you, that I wanted to have that. But I'm going to work. I wanted to be on time. So that's okay. At least I had the darshan of the flower. That's enough. And guess what happened? When our thought is so genuine, his response is in seconds. I went to the hospital, and I went to my room. I was seated in the examination room. I just went inside the room, and guess what, brothers and sisters? I had a yellow rose sitting on the table, and one of the Sevadal says, "Doctor, this yellow flower came from Swami Samadhi." So Swami did not go anywhere. So he still revealed, but I still was really, really was craving for the physical proximity and darshan. I was going through real depression. I just couldn't function normally for the first 3 months after Swami left. I said, Swami, this is really too much for me to handle. You have to do something. Otherwise, I don't think I can live like this. And guess what happened? There was a beautiful, beautiful dream Swami gave me. Swami got out of the samadhi. He just sat up, and I'm sitting by the side of Swami. Swami was holding my right hand, and he said, my palm. I was literally feeling the softness of his palm, and he said, I did not go anywhere. I'm always with you. And I woke up from the dream, and dear brothers and sisters, I had no idea. My pain completely vanished. And I had the reassurance that Swami is always, always with me. So now that he's not just in Puttaparthi, he's within me. That kind of a conviction came automatically through that wonderful, beautiful dream. So that is how I started transitioning from that physical form to the cosmic form. So even when, as I mentioned previously, even when Swami was in his physical form in Puttaparthi, I always craved to see him in the place where I'm living. I'm living in middle of nowhere in Iowa in Fort Dodge. So we went to Puttaparthi in February 2009, when we had a beautiful darshan of Swami in the Kulwant Hall. Actually, that morning darshan, we were not planning to go for darshan at all. We were staying outside because we had huge crowd, like we had so many family members. So we took a room outside and we were staying outside. And that owner of that restaurant, the hotel, he came and, hey, Swami is coming for darshan. You missed the breakfast. You have to go for darshan. So myself and my husband felt, okay, if this is Swami's invitation, we have to go. So we skipped the breakfast and we went straight to the Kulwant Hall. Obviously, because the darshan has started, we couldn't get into the Kulwant Hall, but we were standing right at the wall, and Swami was coming from his house in the wheelchair, and we were in that straight line, that eyesight. Myself, my husband, and my daughter, all three of us were there. And as Swami was coming closer and closer, it was just flow of tears. We just couldn't control. It's a tear of joy. My God, Swami literally invited us, hey, I'm giving darshan, you come and have my darshan. Because we, at that time, we did not even realize how long Swami is Swami is going to have this physical form. So I was crying, my daughter was crying, but my husband was crying, but he tried to see Swami's face. He said, oh my God, I just couldn't see his face. All I saw was just pure light and light and light. Oh my God, why couldn't I see Swami's face? Swami is hiding his face in the light. So I said, maybe Swami, that's the lights. He said, I'm here to light the lamp of love. So light is also his form. So we discussed about it. We just came back to US again. So we did some puja in our home, and I had picture of Swami. After we finished the puja, I was just taking pictures, and all of a sudden I turned to Swami's picture and said, oh my God, Swami, you look so beautiful. I started clicking the still camera. It's not a video camera, but within the still camera, I see Swami moving in the white robe. I was so stunned. Oh my God. I was literally scared. I was shivering. But I click many pictures. I didn't tell anything. I just came quietly and I just called one child. I thought the children are so pure, always they can see God immediately. So hey, what do you see in this picture? And that child was, oh, auntie, I see the white robe Swami inside the camera. Ooh, I don't even have a white robe Swami. I don't have a picture at that time. So that is how the picture behind me came into our home from Puttaparthi. So when we put the picture in the computer and saw it's a beautiful picture of Swami within that Swami's picture. His face was completely light, and within that light form, you could see his shoulder, his form so beautifully. He manifested the same way what we had witnessed in Puttaparthi. So that is, even when he was physically present, he started showing that, hey, I'm everywhere. You connect with my cosmic form, not just the place and the form or I'm everywhere. You could, wherever you need, you can see me wherever you need. You have to have that intensity. So that was a beautiful experience also. And the other experience, the divine form. So it's not just when you're doing puja, then I start, the more I contemplate, it is like a e-learning. We are all now, all the children are doing e-learning. So that was my e-learning session with Swami. I did not go to Swami school, but it was a one-on-one lesson with Swami. It was a e-learning. So when I go to work every day, I chant Sai Gayatri when I was driving. When I have any free time, I just chant Gayatri Japam or Sai Gayatri or whatever. I constantly remind myself to connect with Swami all the time so I can avoid any bad thoughts. So one day I had two C-sections to attend. It was a regular scheduled C-section. So I was driving to the hospital. I parked. As I was parking the car, I'm hearing a very beautiful, clear voice. I am God. I am God. I was totally, oh my God, Swami, why are you telling me this today? But my husband always says when Swami gives you experience, or if he says something, there is going to be something happening, and he's reassuring. Swami says, I will come before any problems comes to you. So that was so reassuring that Swami is with me now. Whatever work today I have to do, he is going to perform that. So I went there. As I'm walking in the parking lot, I just looked into the sky. Oh my God, that was a beautiful vision of Swami. He's just walking just in the sky and holding the sun in his hand because it was morning 7 o'clock. Um, I was like, oh my God, this is again Swami is coming. What is going to happen? But I enjoyed that fraction of a second. I enjoyed that moment. I just took it all within me. I was so blissful. I was so happy and went into the OR. So nobody expected any problem because we do 3 or 4 C-sections every week. It's just a routine thing for all of us. What I normally do whenever I go to C-sections, every child that is born is the divine Atma that is coming to this world. When I receive the baby, that's a beautiful blessing as a pediatrician. You're the one receive the baby as soon as the baby is born. So I receive, Swami, I'm receiving you. Let this child be your instrument, no matter where this child is, no matter which environment this child is being brought up. Let this child be your instrument of love. And I always chant Sai Gayatri in the OR whenever I'm there to just bring the divine energy that helps everyone to perform our job very well. So that the first C-section, there was nobody expected that baby came out without a single heartbeat. It was so much chaos. Everybody was panicking. And guess what? What Brother Greg explained about the peace. Swami reminded me I am God. Swami gave me that vision that I am there with you. Dear brothers and sisters, I did not have single iota of any agitation. I know I was so confident that Swami's hand are at work. So I started doing the resuscitation. It's so hard emotionally to do a resuscitation on a newborn baby because the parents are right there. It's just a chaotic surrounding. But for me, I just performed and Swami, you're born. You cannot go anywhere. You have to come. This is my internal conversation constantly, and obviously the child screamed within 5 minutes. We were preparing to give medications, everything, but the child just screamed within 5 minutes. So that was done. I was immensely thanking Swami. And then that C-section is done, and then it's a back-to-back C-section. I had like half an hour in between. So all the nurses were like, oh my God, how can you handle this so quietly? You were not yelling, screaming, you bring this, that. Because honestly, I felt Swami is in the form of the nurse. Whoever is surrounding me is only Swami. They will bring me whatever I need. That kind of inner confidence comes when you connect with the cosmic form. And guess what? The second C-section, same thing happened again. So the two C-sections in a row, it was Then I had a full schedule of my clinic ahead of me. If I had been stressed out, and see, that is the thing we see in the medical field now. It is a very emotionally challenging environment sometimes. But how do we connect within ourselves? How do we have the emotional intelligence? How do we detach ourselves and perform the duty without taking the ownership that I am the doer, without that ego? Hey, I saved that baby. If I had come out after the first C-section, and definitely, if the results are on the contrary, that also belongs to me then. But whatever the result, I'm ready to offer it, the good result, bad result, everything. If you're ready to offer to Swami, whatever work we do, there is no kind of agitation or sense of accomplishment. It is just simple. You are being there and you're allowing Swami, just being the empty flute, allowing that cosmic form of that energy to work through you. So that was a beautiful experience that I just wanted to share. So Swami, we cannot confine Swami to one place or one name or one form. He is always surrounding us in different forms.
Well, Dr. Ramadevi, I have to thank you for sharing such beautiful experiences of closeness with divinity, with God, and also experiences of oneness. In fact, Baba says that we all have the ability to experience oneness with God on a daily basis. Can you share with us what is your method of doing this in your private spiritual practice?
So, to answer this question, let me. I always think about the word connecting to Swami's words. That always helps. That what is that oneness? We need to understand what really that oneness with God. So the minute I separate God and me separately, the Dvaita principle, then I'm not really connecting to Swami, or I cannot experience that oneness. The minute that I believe in Swami's words, you are the Divyatma Swarupalara. The minute we connect with that Atma, that is that our dear own Swami that is present in all of us, that brings that oneness within. That is how I try to experience Swami. And when we connect with, so it is not just one-time connection, right? It is a challenge to connect every second, every breath. We have to connect to that Swami's divine form, remind ourselves. This reminds me that song, Remind Me, My Lord, who I am. So we constantly have to remind ourselves, I am that, I am Swami. You and I are one. Swami always says that. So when are we going to practice that? So I always tell, okay, Swami said that. I still, okay, Swami, you're there. I'm still wanted to see you as you and me as me. That doesn't work. So I started doing this. Still, I'm still at the baby level, a long way to go. Even if I skip that one step, I know Swami will teach me a lesson, beautiful lessons. He will definitely teach me that, okay, you are not connected to me at that moment. You have to face the consequence. So as we go closer and closer to Swami, as we wanted to connect more at the Atmic level, so even our thought, even one single bad thought, will have a lot of consequences. I realized that as well. Excuse me. So how do I experience that oneness? So to begin with, I usually do when I'm doing the work. Um, Let me start at home. See, it has to start from home, right? When I'm agitated and not peaceful at home, then when I go with that mentality to work, I'm going to reflect the same thing. Um, and even before at home, I think I should start with myself. I have to be peace with myself. I have to love myself. I have to, for that, I think there is so much of discipline, which really I have to thank my mother for doing that. She brought us up within so much of discipline way. Wake up this time. This is the food, sattvic food you have to eat as a student. And this is the way you have to lead. There is no excuse for any spiritual practice. Even when I'm in medical school, you have to do this. Even if you don't study compromise because you're doing the prayer, it's okay. God will take care of that. So those kind of faith my mom had really put me through when I was growing up. So that really helped me to experience that when we have that faith and surrender, and plus we have to do the duty in a Swami says 3 days: duty, devotion, duty, discipline, and devotion. When we perform at that level with the thoughts and words and deeds, everything in unity, that's when we can experience that oneness. Um, Let me share one of that experience how I um, when I and especially I also had experienced that oneness with Swami when I pray for somebody else, completely selfless, surrendering. Swami, this is the problem. You have to come now and help the person and experience that oneness as well, because we are that love. Without talking about the universal love, I don't think we can talk about any oneness at all, because as a child, when they are born, we are pure love, and we have the peace, truth, non-violence, and the right action. Everything, that's what we are, because the child when it is born, it's so beautiful. The presence of a baby, if I, as a pediatrician, I cannot stop bringing the babies into my talk. Whenever there is a child, the baby is there. They're not talking, they're not doing anything, just their presence brings bundle of joy to everyone who looks at the baby, because they are just the being, that universal love. But what happens? So I was scientifically analyzing that as well. So if we are that Atma, we are that oneness, we are that God, what happens then? Why do we have to suffer? Why can't we just be that? But as Brother Greg mentioned in his initial talk, as we are going through the stages of development, by 6 months, everything starts because we connect to the outside world. We slowly start losing the connection within ourselves. We start connecting, associate ourselves with the outside world. Oh, this is my mother, this is my father, okay, this is that. And by 2 years, we develop anger, jealousy, hatred, meanness, and even some kind of violence, because that's why it's called terrible twos. The children would bite, hit, they do everything. So by the age of 2, we are completely transformed into the human form. We were born as a divine being, but by the time they're 2, we are transformed into a human being. But how do we connect to that? So that is why Swami says in the developmental process, the first 5 years of development is so important in the child's life. Whatever we do when during pregnancy and after birth, when the first primitive stages of development, it is so important to teach them to connect to the values. So I feel that so we have to create that atmosphere. So that means the parents, the atmosphere the child is growing up, the child care, the school the child going to, or whatever the human interaction the child has, everything has to be filled with that atmic awareness and the principle. So that's the only way. We cannot spoil the children. So that's the only way everyone can connect to the oneness, and it's our responsibility, because Swami has taught us how we should connect to the atmic level. And so that is this one way that we all of us can practicing the human values that really put us in connection with the pure love, selfless love.
You spoke a little bit about the Atma, and of course, Baba says that divinity is our true nature, that we are the Atma. And you experience this with the babies as they're first born. But how do we discover this really clearly for ourselves, that we are indeed the Atma? It's such a big sort of a concept to grasp. What would you, how can you help us with that one?
Thank you for asking that question, brother. I know connecting to the Atma and realizing constantly that we are the Atma, it's a lifelong process. So I cannot just say, I realized the Atma today, but I may not realize the Atma this afternoon. So it is a constant integrated awareness. that constantly remind us that we are the Atma. Every situation, every place, every human interaction, or every interaction with the nature, or so that is why we are taking up so many projects, saving the environment, saving the animals. So even the thought level, we have to be so pure. The thought has, there's so much of negativity as we evolve in technological aspects. And as a pediatrician, I see so much. The children are just withdrawn from their Atmic principle. They are hooked to the external world so much. It's really preventing them from connecting to their inner self. As a Sai devotee, I feel that it is a primary responsibility to take that as a sadhana and a service to humanity through the human values. So let's see what the Atma, how do I connect with the Atma is. Swami had given us um, beautiful examples, and he talked about this Atma in different discourses we all hear, how much we contemplate and put it into practice. So that is the first thing I constantly think about. Everything starts with the thought. So we are conscious. And for example, let's just take this session itself. We are conscious that we are awake, and I know that I'm present here and Brother Greg is present there. I'm conscious of what I'm doing at this moment, but I have to be conscious about the innate Atma, that is the conscience that is present within myself. So with that awareness, if I do this talk, and if I see myself as Swami talking to the Swami within Brother Greg, and I also see the Swami that is going to be listening, the Atma that is present in all of the, whoever is going to listen to this talk as well, that brings me that oneness. We are all learning together. So that cuts off the ego that I am the doer, I am the one who's talking about this Atma, this and that. So that allows me to, Swami to talk through me, for all of us to understand the principle of Atma within all of us. So the first step is believing and practicing that I am God and I am Swami. At the same time, it's not enough to just see, oh, I'm God. That sometimes that may even lead to ego. But can I see that same Swami, whoever is sitting right in front of me? Can I see that same Swami in this pen? Can I see that everything that is surrounding the air where I breathe in, that has completely suffused with the Swami's love? It is the divine love that's what is present in the entire cosmos. The minute with that collective conscience, and Swami had mentioned in so many discourses, who is God? In one of the, I was watching one of the video that Swami was talking to the students. It's a beautiful short video. One of the students was asking, who is God? And Swami says, consciousness is God. That his words were so clear, and he was really stressing, consciousness is God. Sometimes it's very easy to connect with our conscience. Hey, I have to be good. I am truth. I am love, because we are just trying to practice Swami's teachings. But at the same time, when we practice that, the person who I'm talking to is also the same love, the respect comes automatically for me, for that person. Even if there are some bad actions that somebody is doing, can I see the divinity? Can I see Swami within that person? Slowly, slowly, if we come closer to that stage in our spiritual sadhana, that's when we can really connect to the Atma, not only with us, we can also connect to the Atma within the other person whom we come across in our day-to-day life. I hope that that makes it very clear, or that's at least my understanding, brother.
Yes, it does. It's so important as devotees that we share our experiences and we learn so much from each other. Now, in the beginning of the program, we did talk a little bit about peace, and you also mentioned feeling really quite peaceful while working in a very hectic, high-pressure medical environment. Is there anything specific that you do to feel or capture that experience of peace while being in the workplace?
That's a good question. Um, how do I practice peace? Obviously, Swami says you are peace. So that is our true nature. If I'm deviating from my own human nature, not only the divine, even Swami says if you don't follow the five human values, you're not even a human being. That's why it is called human values. So the peace and the love is so important. But we need to have some kind of a spiritual sadhana and practice to have that peace. Even there are a lot of neuroscience research that's going on, and how do we bring peace? How do we deal with the burnout at workplace? All those things. So there should be some kind of whatever is appealing to everyone. We can all practice. How do I practice at workplace? See, for example, we'll have a hectic day. I start with my inpatient rounds and C-section, and then come and do my morning clinic patients, and then there's a lunch break I get. So that's the quiet time to contemplate on Swami and within myself. Or I have the choice, or I can brood over, oh my God, why did this patient tell me this? Or, oh, this patient did not respect me. Or that nurse did this, or whoever. I can just contemplate on that. That completely ruins my peace of mind. And I think the choice is ours. So, just to give an example, how our thought itself will change and bring peace in the environment wherever we are. This was a beautiful experience Swami gave me. Probably I felt that I should share this. And this is one of the beautiful service we all can do wherever we are to bring peace to humanity. So during lunchtime, when I walk to the cafeteria, coming back, or when I'm in my room just by myself, uh, when I walk, I just focus on my breathing. So hum, so hum. So I constantly connect with Swami. And whoever is crossing over, I just try to see Swami in them also. So that kind of completely takes away my thought from whatever has happened in the past or in the yesterday or in the morning. I'm not going to even think about, oh my God, I have the whole hectic schedule in the afternoon. I'm not going to think about anything. Just the sogam breathing. Like 10 minutes of doing that, it completely connects to our inner being, the cosmic form of Swami for us. I usually constantly, I still do that. So one time, I went to India for a month at workplace. Uh, it was like there are four different physicians. They were all chief of different departments. They all got sick for different reasons. One had some accident, one had some surgery, one had some family problem, something like there was so much of chaos in the hospital going on. uh, I came back from India. It was so blissful. So when I came back, one of the my hospital staff, oh my God, where did you go? This one man, we didn't see you. We didn't see you. Like wherever I go, I was there's so much going on in the hospital. This one man, I don't know what you do. You just do some magic. When you come, it's so peaceful and happy. We're all. So it's not. Please forgive me. I'm not. I don't want to be arrogant, or it's just me bring peace, but the lesson what I wanted to convey is connecting to Swami brings Swami to that environment. Not only it benefits us, it benefits the whole environment wherever we are practicing. So we all have the power to bring that peace and wellness wherever we are, at home, or so the peace within us is so important. And Swami has, there's a beautiful book Swami had given us, the power of thought. So it is so important to bring back thoughts. So our mind is bundle of thoughts. To keep the mind tranquil and connecting to the love, that is so important. So we are basically love and peace. uh, so, and one more thing I wanted to share is we so how do I we all as a society devotees, we go to service every week. Sometimes as we do every week, we think that, oh, it's just a routine service. Oh, I signed up for this is banana I'm buying, okay, I'll drop it. But when we do that service in the I I wanted to give my love, and the receiver, whoever is going to receive, also have to receive that love, the food or whatever I'm giving. Through that, it is a conduit of love that brings that experience of love within themselves. So no matter how much chaos they're going through in their life, if we can make that moment loving and peaceful for that particular person, they are connected to their divinity at that particular moment. That could be a turning point for them as well. So it's really important as a Sai devotee to carry that message of Swami wherever we are, whether it be a service at work or at home environment. It's so important and very powerful to do that as well. Um, so when we went for a Saturday service, one lady, she just walked from she was homeless, and then she was given a temporary accommodation to stay somewhere. She walked through the church, and then she saw the sign that there's food being served. She walked in. So she ate our food, and then we were just talking to every person who walked in, trying to see Swami. And whenever I go for service, okay, where is Swami? How can I identify him? That is my sadhana. It's not the food cooking. When I go, I wanted to experience Swami wherever service it is, whatever service it is. So that lady come to me. I don't know. I just feel like real love in you. And she just hugged me and started crying. And then she put her hand on my head and she started speaking in a different language. All our Sai brothers, and including my husband, they were all so scared. Oh my God, this lady is going to do something to her. Something is going to happen. But you know what, brothers and sisters, I felt the love. I felt the divine love in that lady. And same thing, she also felt the love, and she was weeping, and she was talking some different language. It was going on for 2 3 minutes, and then we just woke up, and then okay. So she said, I'm so peaceful today. I was locked up in that place for 7 years. I see some light in my life today. She was talking and talking, and then okay, where do you guys live? And I had no idea what happened. She, can I spend more time with you? Myself and my husband were looking at, and we said, okay, this is Swami, let's take her home. She came to with us to home. So I made some tea, and that day we had Sai Center activities as well. So we took her to the Sai Center as well. So everybody was, oh my God, how can you trust somebody? You just brought somebody. And I said, I just felt Swami's love. So she's here. So she attended the whole entire bhajan study circle. She interacted with the children. She used to be a music teacher or something. For some weird reason, she lost a job. She lost her entire family members. She said she doesn't have any connection to any of her family members. And this is the first time I'm feeling that pure love, she said. And she also took Swami's book, um, Holy Men and Psychiatrists, and one more book. She was going through the library, and she took two of the books, and she spent the entire day and night, 9 o'clock, we just went and dropped her at the place where she was staying. So the reason I wanted to share is we felt that Swami spent that entire day with us. So Swami says, serve my man until you see God in every man. So Swami gives us the glimpses of that experience when we wanted to have. So grab that moment and enjoy and experience the presence of a divine mother always with us when we connect with the divinity within the other person. It's not just experience the divinity within ourselves. It's also very, very, very important, not judging anyone, connecting that. And of course, Swami is the protector. I just wanted to give a disclaimer. You just use your common sense. And when you feel that Swami is telling within yourself that, hey, I'm there, I will protect you. So I don't want anybody to get into trouble. But this was my experience that Swami did not give me any fear at that point. I felt extremely that is Swami. I wanted to spend that day with Swami. And there is nothing can replace, none of the materialist thing would replace that bliss I had that day.
It was such a beautiful experience, and it shows how the values of peace and love are so closely interrelated, and how you felt love and Baba's love, God's love. I was wondering if you could share with us how you feel love is best cultivated, how we can create that feeling of love within us, learn to build it within us as much as we can. And also another sort of small question in it, can we connect with God without cultivating love?
So I wanted to answer your second part of the question. Can we connect to God without cultivating love? Um, so, uh, so love is God, God is love. So both are inseparable. So as long as there is love, there is God. Wherever there is God, there is love. But the thing is, whether we are able to experience that love, that is up to the individual to experience that love. And once you experience that love, there is always God in it. Whether you call, then you don't want to give the name as God, that's fine. As long as you feel that love, that is all exist in that entire universe. But how do we develop that love? Definitely practice, 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 purifying the purity, unity, purity, and divinity. So unity in thought, word, and deed. So all these principles of Swami's teachings, constantly, Swami has made it so simple for us to practice. It's so simple, yet very profound. So I honestly feel that the love is given to us already. Um, as you had mentioned, brother, which it's up to us to remove the cloud that's hiding that love to manifest within all of us. And at the same time, Swami says it's the reflection resound. If I don't practice love, I don't see love. What I practice, I get to receive also. Um, so definitely, I feel that completely practicing Swami's teaching, not 99.9%. Probably that's not close to that oneness. It has to be the whole. God is always perfect. So we have to practice 100% of Swami's teachings at all places, all situations. I know it's very easy to say. It's very tough to practice at all situations. And Swami says, yeah, it's very easy to see and be nice in the Sai Center, or it's very easy to be nice and loving when people are loving to you. That's not divinity. That's not experiencing Atma, or that's not experiencing God. Can you love somebody who is really mean to you? Like Phyllis Crystal example, like in the flight, somebody's going to kill you. Can you send that love? That kind of a love, that's the only way, unselfish um, love that brings goodness to the humanity without any iota of selfishness. When we experience that love, you and God become one. So I cannot even think that God separate and love separate. So when you are loving, you are God. When somebody's when you and you have that ability to receive love also, we need to have the grace to receive that love also, because we are surrounded by love and love only everywhere throughout the universe. It is up to us to tap into that love and receive that love. So that brings me one more example I wanted to say is like how Swami manifests when we are just craving for his love. Even again, I'm bringing the formless to the form to the formless. Um, Obviously, when I was immediately, like even for 1 or 2 years after Swami left his physical form, even after the dream, I just craved to see Swami's form. Swami, just come and give me darshan, just in my dream, or give me some vision or something like that. So one, it is so crazy that I was just in between patients. I just came into my office. I looked at Swami's picture and said, "Swami, your hair is so beautiful." I have no idea why I said that, because Swami has planned to give me that experience, I guess. I just randomly said that, and then I just walked to the next room to see the next patient. And guess what happened? It's so beautiful. when we really earn from the bottom of the heart, he comes right away. In Fort Dodge, a remote place in Iowa. This is a 18-month-old, I think. As soon as I walk into the room, the first conversation I'm hearing is the child said, touch my hair. I did not even say hi, good morning. I didn't say anything. I tapped the room, I walked into the room. The first word I'm hearing is touch my hair. And that child has the hair exactly like Swami's hair. And I literally went and hugged the child, and I was really feeling Swami's hair. It was so beautiful. And that mom was like, oh my God, why did you say, doctor, to touch your hair? And I said, don't tell him that it's so beautiful. I love it. I love it. So that was the moment that when we have that intensity of the love to experience that divine love, Swami says, I take any form, any names. And that child was the Swami that particular day to give me that love. That was so beautiful. That happened many, many, many years ago. And one more incident that happens like just last month. I was talking to one of the patient, and then we just okay, this is what is happening with your child. Everything was done, and all of a sudden, this mom asked, "How do you listen to your heart?" I didn't think at that moment any spiritual perspective. I said, "Yeah, that's why I went to medical school. We were trained to listen to the heart." How long did it take for you to listen to the heart? She asked me. I said many years, and then once I got trained, now being practicing for almost 29, 30 years, I know what I'm listening to. When you know what you're listening to, it's very easy. It doesn't take that long. Like few, maybe a minute, I can listen, and then I know what I'm listening to. Oh, she said, it just clicked at that moment. Oh my God, this is not the patient. Why would she ask me randomly that how do you listen to the heart? So then she ended the conversation with listen to the heart. That's how she ended the conversation. It just stuck in my brain that, oh my God, this is Swami coming. Whether you are in workplace, wherever you are, he comes randomly in different form to remind you, listen to your heart. That was a beautiful revelation of Swami, the cosmic form, which takes any form and any name and any place, any time. We all can experience that bliss. The only thing is we have to have that craving and intensity to see Swami wherever. The moment you open your eyes in the morning before you rest in the bed, you just crave, Swami, I'm doing this. Am I seeing you? Swami, am I following your teachings? Am I in sync with your teachings and your principle, your messages? So when we are in sync with the love, with everything what we do, then that's the best way to experience that love, I think.